likely experience a time lag. In case you have a query, please use a chat function and address it to the public. To avoid disturbance, we request the audience to mute the microphone and switch off the video during the session. In case you get logged out of the meeting due to any technical issue, we request you to immediately rejoin and using the same meeting link. Please use the chat box to share any questions, comments, suggestions for the speakers. Your questions will help us in making this session more interactive and fruitful. To help you revisit the key takeaways of the discussion today, we will be sharing the video recording and PPT deck with the registered participants over email. So let us know about what is Evil Youth India. Evil Youth India was established in November 2020 by Evil Youth Asia through its country chapters project funded by the Evil Youth Global Network. Evil Youth India serves as the young and emerging evaluators body of evaluation community of India and aims to promote YEs, women and men, to become competent, experienced and well-networked professionals who contribute to the evaluation capacity at national, regional and international levels. Evil Youth India plans to promote YEs to build their capacities and expose them through networks to other evaluators to promote peer linking. So join Evil Youth India at this link. So what about ECOI? ECOI functions as a professional community promoting an evaluation culture in the country and foster policy making and program planning, driven by evidence-based decision making with focus on social equity, gender equality, and sustainability. It provides a platform for interactions and knowledge and experience sharing within evaluation community and other stakeholders in development to ensure that professionalism, quality, and ethics permeate all evaluations and to make them utility oriented. So let us know about something about IECC. What is IECC? India Evaluation Case Competition. It's a competition for students in India to learn and showcase their skills and in monitoring and evaluation. Teams of 4 to 5 students may belong to different institutions can participate in this event. On the day of the competition, the teams will receive an evaluation case for which they will have to prepare a submission in defined format in a span of 7 hours. So a panel of juries will judge the submission against defined criteria to select the best submissions. They will try to provide feedbacks to each individual team after the event. Through a couple of more webinars, we will cover some basics of evaluation. A short training session will be conducted with the participating teams to orient them about what is expected in the case competition and the direct entry of the winning team to the World Case Championship. So to tell about the speaker, today Harish, he is a CSR professional with more than 6 years experience in monitoring and evaluation. He is currently working with Quality Council of India, and he is also a co-leader partnerships at Evil Youth India. Thank you. Over to you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Achal, for wonderful introduction. Okay, so Harish, I will hand it over to you. I'm making you co-host.
Thank you, Anshul. Thank you, Abhishek. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, so quickly I'll share my screen. So, and I'll also talk what I'm going to speak. Sorry, is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Thank you. Yeah. So, hello, everyone. Good morning. I know it's it's a bit difficult to wake up early in the morning on a Sunday and like come to class, especially for a competition. But I hope it's you all make it. So today I'm going to talk about careers in the field of M&D. So basically, why we had this session during the workshop is because we want the participants to understand how to make a career in M&D and how this competition will help you guys in that. So monitoring and evaluation. So if you guys have attended last week's workshop by Dr. Prabhu Puniswamy, he explained very clearly what's monitoring and evaluation and how important that is in the project. So I'll just quickly summarize what we was talking the other day and develop some context for my presentation over here. So monitoring is a continuous and systematic process of collecting, tracking, and analyzing the data on specified indicators to provide information on extent of progress and achievement of objectives. It helps in understanding if there is any deviation from the plan and the actual that we plan. So in monitoring, basically what we do is the M&D professional that firms recruit. So these are the people who design the indicators in in the like in cohort with the client. So basically, you have to come up with the indicators which have set ground rules. So most of the indicators follow the SMART framework, which we'll see in subsequent workshops by professionals in M&D. But I'm trying to make understand what is the work that M&D professionals do. So firstly, we'll get the problems. Like it can be like any statement, any problem that's actually let us assume like out of the blue, how to improve the educational outcomes in India. Let us assume. So this the client has brought it to your organization, and you will be designing an intervention to. You will be first dividing the problem statement. You will have to understand what the problem is. You have to do the secondary research, and then come up with, is there actually a problem exists? If so, what's the reason and where is it? After that, you need to show, yeah, you need to come up with a M&D framework. So the intervention that the team develops as a monitoring and evaluation professional, you will have to incorporate the M&D framework. So what is M&D framework? M&D framework is where it has a set round of rules. Like, it follows a TOC, which is theory of change, and then a log frame, various other things. So basically in that you'll have inputs or activities, outputs, outcomes, and impact. So you have to design it. You have to design the indicators at every stage. You have to view the tracking mechanism, the collecting mechanism, and various other aspects. So that's monitoring. So in monitoring, you keep on observing these trackers. You keep on indicators. You'll see how it keeps on changing. And if it is any deviations there, you'll have make corrective measures during the process. So it's a continuous process. Evaluation. Again, evaluation is done at respect to intervals. It's not a continuous process where you understand whether the intended objectives have been reached or not. If there is any deviation, and again you make corrective measures to make sure that the program is on course. The whole idea is to ensure the program reaches its objectives, and if there are any deviations, you'll find out in the right time and then correct and include corrective measures into it. It's in a way it's like a project management, right? You manage the whole project, make sure it's going along the direction that you want it to. So I don't want to talk more about M&D because in the last workshop, Dr. Prabhu Muniswamy has covered very extensively, very clearly, and also like in the subsequent workshops, there is the proper people will be talking about it. So, but I want to talk about careers and also the future. Like, why do you think M&D is gonna stay here for more time, and how students who wants to make a career in evaluation are gonna get benefit out of this? So as you see from the previous slide, M&D is very important project, right? You have to understand that it is here and it's gonna stay and it's gonna only increase future. To be frankly, in government of India is actually deliberating to have a national evaluation policy, like what the other countries are having. Like for various countries, like even Sri Lanka has a policy. So basically, this policy says like all the government schemes need to be evaluated, and proper M&D mechanism has to be incorporated during the design stage and various other things. So there is a need and demand for evaluation from evaluators very high compared to the previous time, and it's going to only increase. It's never going to decrease, and evolution is here and is going to stay, and it's adaptive. I'm telling you, like, because previously it was it has set up principles and guidelines, and now it's evolving with respect to various geopolitical tensions, COVID, and various other externalities. So like for example, like I can even see in my slide, the M&D field is undergoing a revolution in data collection, especially analysis. Technology is being incorporated into it to make it more robust and to evaluate as much as we can. So the idea is not to leave any page unturned and to make sure we capture all the points in an evaluation. Like for example, we are doing like real-time data collection Like, with the advent of technology, we are having dashboards, MIS, management information systems in place. Mobile collection data tools. We are using AI. We are using mobile phones. We are using software to collect data. Previously, enumerators used to go to the sample population and then collect data. But now, with the advent of technology, people are doing it right from their office. Community involvement M&D. Previously, M&D used to be that few consultants will be there and they used to go and do the monitoring and evaluation. But now community is being participated. So we are incorporating how to, we are make sure community takes part. Like how we're going to do is while designing the project, we make sure there are certain indicators or parameters that the community can monitor. Like we'll have a setup, we'll have a representative from the community. He or she will make sure the project is running smoothly, because at the end, we can't have a project without involvement of local community or the beneficiary, right? So the whole idea is make sure they are all on board. The project is going in line with what the expectations of the community is, and also make sure they are also participate. Again, participatory approaches to engage with stakeholders. Previously, the consultant or the M&D specialist used to talk to stakeholders, but now they are participatory approaches. Stakeholders, they get into the execution of the project. They give their inputs. They help in tracking the indicators. They help in creating the indicators. So there is more participatory approaches. And also, obviously, there is increasing awareness. More and more projects, more and more government initiatives, CSR projects, and developmental infrastructure projects, developmental activities are being evaluated. And technology infusion, again, like geotagging, geotagging, where the latest technologies are being incorporated to make sure all these aspects are covered. Uh, so yeah, I want to talk about M&A resources that you can use for the competition. So I have participated in last year's competition. And so previously last year as a student at NLS pursuing a public policy. So I got the opportunity to participate in the evaluation competition. So I'll tell you my experiences and what I and my team has gained due to this competition. And I hope the same would be replicated to your teams. And I hope you will also learn something in line with that. So in the India evaluation case competition website, we have a proper tab called resources, which this is a screenshot, and where the resources we ensured we keep updating that, and also we kept the basic and the basics of M&D and something that will start you along the path. I'm not saying these are the only things that you need. No, that's not the point. The idea is for a student who's interested in evaluation and doesn't know where to start, this can be a ground zero where he or she can start. They can understand what is theory of change. They can understand what is M&D strategy and the SWOT analysis and various other frameworks, etc. So that is the idea of keeping all the resources here. In our website, we also have previous 2 years case studies, the solutions of the top winning teams, and also the idea is to you can learn from them. You can understand what are the aspects they have covered in the RFP, what are the topics that they incorporated, how to involve, how to make the log frame, how to make the POC, etc. So I'm pretty much sure these resources would be more than enough to give you an idea. But you can go on, read more, understand, improve your knowledge, and these resources are here to stay. You can use them after the competition. We'll also share with you various other resources. Google Sheets that we Evaluate India has, consolidated. We curated a lot of information for our members. You can utilize that. We're going to share it after the presentation. And apart from these, our website, I want you to follow distinguished people in LinkedIn. So I have kept a few screenshots down the two slides. So basically, one, Anne Murray Brown. She's a great M&D professional. You can follow her website, blog, article, but she keeps on posting in LinkedIn various other techniques, stakeholder management, and how to do data collection, how to analyze. It's a great resource. Her profile is itself a great resource. I suggest you follow her, talk, and learn from the best. Again, one more thing is Magnet Kakule. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing their names properly. That's because of the language issue. But you should definitely follow them. They are great resources. They consolidate various resources over the internet. They read, they analyze, they summarize, and they keep on posting. They are very active on LinkedIn. You can engage with them, learn with them. Next, again, Kenji, great. Again, one more policy advocate and M&D specialist. Mehdi Bosnina is my favorite. He is an M&A ambassador, and he posts great stuff. Like he kind of he gets stuff where you won't get usually. Just normal Google Google search won't get you land you those resources where he consolidates from the internet. Salesh Shubail, same. Walter Atito, great researcher. He shares data collection methods, how to implement them, latest techniques, technology, infused M&D, various other topics. You should definitely go check his profile. Again, Ranjani Kemurthy, we used to get her for trainings for Evolve India, and she posts about gender and how to include gender sensitive information indicators in MND framework, and how to incorporate various other topics that we as an MND specialist or experts might miss during the making of MND frameworks. So coming to the main crux of our session today, which is career options in MND. So I'm here to talk about why you should consider a career in monitoring and evaluation, and what are the options that are available out there. So I'm trying to bridge this information asymmetry that is right now available between the people who wants to make a career in evaluations and the options that are available out there. So again, it's entirely India specific, and I also there are also various other international organizations that recruit M&D professionals. So monitoring and evaluation, as I said, we previously established that it's going to stay here, it's going to improve, it's going to spread to more sectors, and governments are going to take it seriously and incorporate them into their policies. They are definitely going to evaluate, they're definitely going to monitor. But to achieve these outcomes, they need manpower, right? They need talented professionals who are experts in M&D. They need people who can learn and execute the evaluation projects. They need, manpower or professionals for that. So, and that is what Evaluate India wants to achieve, and that is what this competition is all about. We are trying to incorporate the importance of M&D into the career of youngsters, and also let them know what are the options out there, and also show like what can they do basically in this field. So, firstly, there are a lot of agencies, especially NGOs. NGOs keep on recruiting M&D professionals, because the non-profits or NGOs, they implement the development activities. They get funding from grant makers, grant donors, governments, and various other organizations. Then they bring the fund and they'll design the intervention. It can be anything like education outcomes, improvement of health outcomes, creating awareness on various other problems in the society, etc. So these interventions, while for incorporating M&D frameworks, they need again monitoring and evaluation. That is where students like you all would be a great asset for them. And they're scouting for talent like that. Again, the implementation firms also. Again, UN international organizations, UN agencies, all UN agencies, UNESCO, UNIDO, UNFPA, WHO, WWF, FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, etc. They all have incorporated M&D into their programs. Everyone has a proper framework, and they all are always voting for talent, international talent, and looking for people who are knowledge in this sector. Think tanks, obviously, JPAL, Evidence Action. JPAL is a great name, founded by the Nobel laureates. They do great work in developing countries. They especially do monitoring and evaluation, RCTs, and other latest techniques. They work with state governments and central governments. They implement the activity, they monitor that, evaluate it, then publish reports, give them policy recommendations, etc. Big Four, again, all the Big Four and private consulting firms like KPMG, PwC, Deloitte, um, EY. They all have government consulting for government public sector engagements where they do evaluation. They incorporate M&D frameworks into the policies that results they give. They make sure all the evaluations that they make sure all the government schemes and other projects are evaluated. It's a great money making out there because the government spends a lot of money evaluating, and that's where Big Four has a lot of requirement. They employ a lot of people in this sector. They pay them heavily, I mean, like good amount of money. Obviously, the private companies, they make good money. So it's a great opportunity over there. Government advisory firms like Samagra, Janagra, etc. These new firms have actually formed for evaluating government projects, help them in designing the policies, and then they incorporate M&D into their every activities. They actually measure their monitor. They have dashboards. They have PMU set up, project monitoring units. with the state governments, etc. So these new age firms are doing great. Actually, Samagra, there's a lot of work. If you, I'm pretty much sure you might have heard over their activities. They hire M&D people rampantly, and the government, obviously, the government organizations like my own from UCI, Niti Aayog has this separate division called DMEO, Development Monitoring and Evaluation Office. So where they actually do all the M&D activities. It's a big organization. DMEO, they fund various projects. These are the official arm of the government which actually does the evaluations. They evaluate government policies, they hire people, they hire firms, consultancies, etc. These are all the private firms have actually started evaluation, like, a Grant Thornton, RMI, various other consultancies have got into this field because they understood the importance of it, and they are doing very good actually. Like the amount of people that are actually, amount of people who give them work, or the amount of demand for this kind of evaluations is top notch. Is getting increased. Civil society organizations, obviously, these are the people who make the government and the bureaucracy accountable. So they hire M&D consultants to check to evaluate whether the projects that the government has implemented are up to the mark, or achieved its desired outcomes. Grant giving organizations, donors, especially like the Tata Trust, BMGF, and various other international organizations, they do M&D. They have in-house talent. They keep on recruiting people. They train them, and also they have a lot of. You can just go check their websites and all. They have ample amount of resources for that, which will also be helpful for your competition. Because during my time at competition, I kept on checking the websites of these firms. For example, I was looking to JPAL's reports. JPAL publishes great reports, and you can utilize them for your, to understand what are the frameworks that they use, various other things. Again, banks, you will be surprised. A lot of banks also recruit evaluation professionals, evaluators. Like, international agencies like ADB, like Asian Development Bank, have separate wings for evaluation. These people evaluate whether the infrastructure projects that they funded or the social development projects that they funded are actually gain their intended objectives. So because the banks fund these organizations, right? Like, let us assume there is a firm that went to a bank and to pitch a social development activity. Banks are gonna fund it, like they give them loan, but then again they check whether they achieve the intended objectives. So banks, they are recruiting heavily for M&D. CSR organizations, obviously, because CSR needs to, all the developmental activities needs to incorporate M&D frameworks, and all the firms, since all the manufacturing firms, power plants, etc., they don't have in-house M&D talent, because they right now they're outsourcing it to various consultancies. But sooner they're gonna recruit people for evaluation, because when I was doing CSR activities for our home, I was doing also looking at the M&D. So basically, what we do is, while designing the CSR program, we also incorporate various indicators. We make sure there is a log frame. We make sure there is a TOC, and also now Government of India, even in the latest, reporting framework, which there is this update in September 2021, where they came up with a new framework for reporting, CSR reporting, where they're asking like whether they are monitoring the activity, whether they are evaluated the activity, and there has to be an impact assessment involved into that. So there has to be a baseline survey done. There has to be a impact assessment done, so that these CSR firms or organizations make uh, I'm sorry, just a minute. Is it okay? I'll just there's someone at the door. Just give me one. Hello, am I audible? Hi.
Yes, Harish.
Yes.
Sorry, someone at the door and I had to go. So
Harish, you are on unmute.
yeah, sorry, my screen was froze for a minute. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Sorry. Yeah. So again, wherever we see CSR organization, CSR organization definitely are taking M&D. So what I'm going to say is monitoring and evaluation is a great skill on a CV. So definitely, if you wanted to look into developmental activities, government sector, or impact investment firms, or even the big four or world international organizations, you need M&A on your CV. And Evolve India is a great opportunity for that to improve your skills in M&A, and also, and this competition especially would be a great validation on that. So we utilize this. We want you all to utilize this competition, learn this important skill, utilize this in your and improving your career, trajectory, and make sure you incorporate this skill into your day-to-day life. Again, so other DSL organizations, we have the sustainable finance organizations, where various firms like Dalberg, and like this is a new topic called, impact bonds, sustainable finance, etc. So these people need evaluators to check whether the internet, the activity is going good or not. So basically, I'll tell you how sustainable finance and various other impact bonds, etc., are actually working currently. So basically, there is this latest phenomenon where outcome funded projects. Like for example, let us assume I'm an implementing NGO, and I want to implement CSR activity at a school, or not CSR activity. I want to make sure the educational outcomes of school children are increased. To achieve that, I have a set action plan, right? So I'll do various activities. I'll teach it, I'll train the teachers, I'll improve the gender ratio, I'll provide infrastructure, various activities I'll be doing. To fund these activities, I'll approach a organization. Let us assume a good donor organization, and I'll explain, pitch this idea, saying that I want to improve the education outcomes of the school. This is my idea. And the funder would say, the grant making organization, he will be saying that, I want to fund the project, but it has to improve the learning outcome. I don't want to fund it if there is no fund improvement. To achieve that, people are actually, so there is this key system where, they'll be having a bank. So this NGO will go to the bank, and the bank will agree to fund this project, give by the backing of the funder. So basically, the grant, who's the grant making organization is there. Like for, sir, let us assume Tata Trust or BNJ, they'll pitch in some amount, and the implementing organization will take a loan from the bank. They'll implement the project. Once the project is done, there'll be an evaluator who would, M&D professional who would evaluate this activity and then check whether the project has intended its objective or not. So once it's gained its objective, then the bank would get this money from the grant making organization. So, and the implementing organization will get this money. So in a way, this whole system makes sure the risk is being evaluated, is eradicated. So that is where M&A professionals are very required. This a lot of impact bonds are currently in place. If you see, I have to, I can name a few. I don't mind, like, Dalberg does this evaluation actually for their projects. There is this Dell, Michael Dell and Susan Foundation who does this type of funding. There is also there is this healthcare project in India where IP Global does this a lot. So there are like few firms actually. So these kind of innovative, say, setup is being implemented, and M&D is going to play a crucial role in that. Again, ESG firms, ESG, environmental, social, and governance. So, for the social aspect, ESG firms are incorporating M&D frameworks, and the climate firms like India Climate Collaborative and various other firms are actually checking if there is a project, there is M&D is involved in that. So these are the career options. So I also want, like, just a glimpse of, uh, firms that are actually recruiting. You can see WHO. The idea behind this slide is I just copy pasted all the latest firms that are actually advertising for an M&D professional in LinkedIn. So I just want you to understand how important this subject is, and you can see that all the big names are currently this just like 1 hour, like today's Sunday, right? So I just went on a LinkedIn today morning and I was just searching for the opportunities, and these are all the firms that are actually recruiting right now. So just you guys understand the importance of this. Just look at the names of organizations like we had WHO, WWF, we have UN Women, you have JPAL, we have CRISIL, we have KPMG, UNDP. KPMG recruits a lot. UNDP, UNICEF, HelpAge India, Sambodhi, again a great firm for M&D. The Nudge, Samhita, Tata Trust, Nayara Energy. As you see, the renewable energy firms are recruiting a lot for evaluators. Ethana Economics is an M&D firm. TechnoServe, PwC, Bayer Foundation, CSF, which is Center Square Foundation, DMU of Nidhi Aayog, Janagraha, Samagra, BMGF. Again, we have a lot of NGOs. So I try to cover most of CRISIL again is an industry body, a ratings agency. So the idea is to help you understand like the wide range of firms that are actually in this space and doing work in this. You can see the amount of requirement these from each firm will at least take 1 or 2 M&D professionals, and this is just the Sunday's advertisement. Just imagine, they are like right now in my screen, you can see some, how many 20, around 30 to 35 opportunities right here. Which are for like M&D, like again experience varies, skill set varies, etc. But the idea is there is a market out there for M&Ds, evaluators, and it's a lucrative market, good, well paying, and it's recession proof. I'm telling you why, because even though it's with recession or not, government has to spend on developmental activities. People have got to be evaluated, have supposed to evaluate them, and it's only going to increase over here. Apart from when after talking to the firm, after talking about the type of opportunities we are getting, type of firms that are recruiting, I also want to talk about the skill sets that these firms are looking for. We need to improve, have proper knowledge on tools. Firstly the questionnaire preparation, interview guidance, survey design. Again, report writing is very must. You need to improve your communication skills. Make sure you write a lot, you read a lot, and produce accordingly. Strong research skills. Again, qualitative, quantitative, impact assessments, log frame designs, etc. Stakeholder management. MS boards like dashboards, MS Office, and these are the basic skills. But it's very important. Stakeholder management is very important because an evaluator has to has to talk to a lot of stakeholders. Like there'll be the client, there'll be the beneficiary, there'll be the solicited organizations, industry bodies, NGOs. There'll be the government representative, bureaucrats, etc. So this type of stakeholder, there's need of to improve the stakeholder management. The more because this also requires good oral and written communication, written communication skills. Again, you have to improve your donor engagement again. So again, donor engagement, because donors who funds the project, they keep on increasing their requirement. So they have this, donors keep on have requirements. They change their topics. So you have to ensure that this donor engagement is important. Again, as I said, you need to understand, have basic skills like management, information system knowledge, dashboard creation. Again, qualitative and quantitative skills are very important, because when evaluating a project, you have to go to field, you have to connect qualitative assessments, quantitative analysis, and impact assessments. Again, design the log frames accordingly. So these are some of the skill sets that I could gather, but it's an exhaustive list. It keeps on increasing. You need to be vigilant. You need to be updated on technology. You need to learn the latest techniques in M&D, gather your information, and make sure make sure your CV looks awesome. Yeah. So coming to from this whole idea of what we all discussed, the importance of evaluators, the future of evaluation, and the skills that required, and the need for youth in evaluation. So So this is what actually the main background for formation of Evaluate India. So it's a non-commercial entity. We are a network of young and emerging evaluators. We all work pro bono. Whatever is written over here is you can read it. But basically, what we do is we try to increase the evaluate M&A knowledge in youth. So basically, we go on. So Evaluate India also has a lot of partnerships recently because I'm a Koilada partnership, and I'm looking after. We are signing MOUs with academia. Like we have a bunch of colleges in Odisha where we signed the MOU with them and got them on board. We also have partnership with Sambodhi is a leading M&A firm, evaluating firm. So basically, they will be help us in capacity building. Will also help us in capacity building of their employees. They'll help us in turn do internship opportunities and various case studies for our competition, etc. for our YEs, and also BMGF. We are having good network with BMGF. They fund for our last 2 years competitions, and they are part of our they keep on guiding us, and they help us in getting international networks with various organizations. And we are also have NIO, National Institute of Urban Affairs. We are developing a series of lecture series with them in partnership with NIO, where our resource people will go talk, will have record the sessions. We'll talk about the evaluations, and it'll be freely available where people of students especially can learn these from these videos. So the idea behind Evolve India is it's we don't have a constant leadership or guiding team, so we keep on changing. So I have been with them for the last 2 years, and I became Koilada this year, and again next year we'll have a fresh team later. So we want you guys to join in, look into this organization. It's completely pro bono. It's free. We network with people. We network with we have Google groups where keep on exchanging information on employment opportunities in evaluation. We network them. We give them training if they want anything. We increase their capacity building, etc. So, and one such activity of Evaluate India is so actually Evaluate India, like we'll be sharing the PPT and the recording with you. You can read these aspects. So I want to talk about IECC, which is the current topic of discussion. The competition IECC. So basically, this Evaluate India have been doing this since last 2 years. So basically, the idea of this competition is to take evaluation to the students and inculcate healthy competition among them. So we are trying to give them resources, workshops like this, and we network them with the professionals. We give them internship opportunities, and also the major part is the winners get to represent India in the world case of evaluation case competition, which is very prestigious. It's going to happen every year in November. Last year, I think one of the IIM Udaipur, I think they won from India. Abhishek, you may correct me if I'm wrong. So one of the college students won, and they represented India in the world platform. So this is one way. We have a lot of other activities planned up. Like for example, Evolve India also doing an offline workshop in Bhubaneswar. So basically, since we understood that most of the knowledge is being concentrated towards north and south, west, to be frankly, west, north, south, but the eastern side of India is actually being a disadvantage when they are not getting much of the workshops, and there is a dire need of we going there, creating awareness about evaluation and making people aware about the employment opportunities. So hence, we are having various projects planned over there. One such thing is in Bhubaneswar, and we're also doing a few in West Bengal down the lane. So we have we achieved some 2,500 USD funding from APA, which is Asia Pacific Evaluation Association, and also 2,500 from Arthan Careers. So basically, they also are taking this session. So the whole idea is, we want you to understand, like we are in partnership with various organizations, and we want you to get benefit out of it. So we want you to get in partnership with Evaluation, be a member of it. You can take that networks knowledge and then utilize for your own benefit. So coming to the last leave, I want to share my experience in naval competition last year, 2022. So basically, last year I was a student. Back when I was a student of MPP, Masters in Public Policy at NLS. So I was competing in this competition. I was not a member of organization committee. So basically, I want to show I made a M&D framework, pun intended. So to make you understand my experience. So basically, for the experience, we had 7 hours of hard grilling, brainstorming session with our teammates. We were a bunch of 4 members. So we at the morning session, you will be getting the question case study. It's a big doc. It will be around like 10 to 15 pages. So you'll have to read it, understand what the client requirement is, and what is the project is, who is the client, what is the sector they work in, how what is the requirement from your end. So mostly it will be RFP, which is a request for proposal. So you as a consultant, your team is a consultant, you will be proposing your idea to the firm. So you need to make the documents such that you're actually gonna explain the client what is the activity, what are you planning to do, how the M&D framework you're gonna incorporate, what's the theory of change you assumed, what are the assumptions that is involved, and what are you gonna do to mitigate. So this is the like a the reports gonna consist of. Again, for that you'll have to do some literature review. We did some around 50 to 60 articles, journals, newspaper articles. We did literature review. We brainstormed about the sector. Then we read about the frameworks. As I said in the resources slide I shared earlier, you can utilize those resources. They have very good frameworks. We took all the ideas from there only. Basically, we did the RESIC models, SWOT analysis, stakeholder analysis, RACA frameworks for stakeholder analysis, etc. So after brainstorming, ideation, then designing the M&D framework. So we developed a beautiful log frame matrix, and we developed the indicators according to the SMART criteria. We developed the theory of change and the monitoring evaluation plan. So outcomes of this whole 7 hours of activities, we developed an in-depth knowledge on the sector. Last year is healthcare. This time it will be a different sector, but again, so we integrated SDGs, we integrated the government of India schemes, we integrated the indicators used by NITI Aayog. So we were reading a lot. We were brainstorming. We can learn in a short span of time. To be frankly, my knowledge has increased a lot. And again, we learned the basics of consulting, like, when in consulting, what is the frameworks that you're going to use? What's the, report that you have to submit? What's the time frame, etc., etc. And the most importantly, we had a huge fun. So I hope you also have a lot of fun. So the impact of all this competition, why do you think why do I think you should do this competition is this knowledge that we gain this 7 hours of that Sunday. No matter we did not eat food properly, we did not have our outing and get together, but that 7 hours helped us gain knowledge on social sector, government advisory, and helped us actually land a job. To be frankly, of all the 4 members, team members, we all are in right now in government sector, government advisory, and this competition played a crucial role in that, because once this competition appears in your CV, it will have an impact, because firms, while you're applying to in your resume CV, they'll understand your interest. You are willing to spend your Sunday on a competition which will increase your knowledge, right? So you're communicating to the firm that you're ready for you want to tackle the real world challenges. So yeah, this actually improved our knowledge on monitoring and evaluation, and also our program implementation and etc. We had fun. We liked it. So yeah, given an opportunity once more, I would love to participate in this competition. Obviously, which I can't because I'm no more a student. But I want you all to take this opportunity and learn from this competition. Yeah, thank you. If you have any doubts, please you can shoot them in the chat box, or you can ask them right away.
Okay, thank you so much, Harish. So, on the behalf of Evil Youth India, I stand here to express our deepest gratitude for your active participation in our monitoring and evaluation workshop. First and foremost, I would like to thank to our speaker, Mr. Harish Kumar, and our facilitators who generously shared their expertise and insights throughout the workshop. Your knowledge and experience have truly enriched our understanding of monitoring and evaluation practices and methodologies. Your dedication to the field is truly commendable, and we are grateful for the time and effort you have invested in preparing and delivering such informative sessions. And last but not the least, thank you all for your valuable contributions, and we look forward to continue collaboration and success in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.